Tonight we present the Founders Award, presented to Dr. and Mrs. Tom Halperin, November 20th, 2011, the 23rd of Cheshvan 5772, Chabad Jewish Center of Peoria and Bradley University, a beautiful picture of the Lubavitcher Rebbe. Just like Dr. Halperin is a visionary, the Rebbe had a vision to make sure that every single community has a Chabad center. And thanks to Dr. and Mrs. Halperin, Chabad in Peoria was founded. And we see that the Rebbe is giving a blessing, a cup of blessing known as Kos Shel Bracha. The Rebbe's blessing should be pouring upon the entire Peoria community, and especially Dr. and Mrs. Tom Halperin.
So much for the kind introduction. It's been a pleasure to watch Rabbi and Sarah grow their organization and their family for the past decade. We feel honored to be included as part of their Chabad family. But truthfully, we didn't do anything special. We only did what anyone else would have done if they were in our position. Why did we help Chabad get started? We did it for the sake of our own children. Let me tell you a little bit about our sons. Dan and John love Chabad. They loved it from the first minute that we entered a Chabad synagogue in Florida while on vacation. The year was 1988, and we received a warm welcome as newcomers. The friendships which began at that time have remained strong until this day. Dan and John are challenged learners. They say and do foolish things at times. Let me give you an example. I'm a Cub fan. My mother was a Cub fan. My grandmother was a Cub fan. They grew up in Chicago. But my sons, at a very early age, rejected my team, and they became Cardinal fans. Is that foolish or what? As a Cub fan, there is one worst fear that we have. It's have to hear the following words. The Cardinals won the pennant, the Cardinals won the pennant. And we have one worse nightmare too. And it happened again this year. Cardinals won the World Series. But wait till next year. Wait till next year. Albert's going to be wearing Cubby blue. And we're going to go all the way. But I digress. How did we make the original arrangements for the Langsmans to come to Peoria? First, we went to our good friends on the board of directors of Agudas Achim. They were in need of Hebrew teachers, and they agreed to hire the Langstons for a period of 4 years. Next, we went to some good friends who preferred to remain anonymous, who also agreed to support Chabad financially in those early years. Thanks to all of the efforts of those early supporters, the Jewish community of Peoria has been placed more firmly on the Jewish map of the world by the presence of Chabad. We have been amazed at the effect that Chabad has had on Peoria. Chabad has raised the bar for Jewish education, and now many, if not all, of their programs are embraced by the other Jewish organizations in Peoria. Here are a few examples. A community Rosh Hashanah dinner, pizza in the hut for Sukkot, a public Hanukkah menorah lighting at the mall or at a Reuben game at the Civic Center, or a menorah building activity for families in private homes. a Purim festive meal, a Passover matzah bakery, a Lag BaOmer barbecue at Cartville, a community ice cream social for Shavuos, the Gan Izzy summer camp for kids. The list also includes, as we've heard, numerous programs for college students at Bradley as well as ISU, Knox College, and elsewhere. In addition, our adult education opportunities like Lunch and Learn, weekly Tanya classes, Jewish Learning Institute courses, Women's Birthday Club, Around Sora's Table, and mikveh training. For the children, there is the Chabad preschool. There's also the Chabad Hebrew School, bar and bat mitzvah training, and much more. Don't forget the hospital visitations, chaplaincy services, visits to prison inmates, counseling for those in need, and religious services for bris milah, weddings, funerals, as well as holidays and Shabbos. Rabbi, after 10 years of our community watching you and trying to imitate you, we are left with just one question. What is that crazy Meshuggah going to do next? Finally, I want to thank my wife, Joan, for tolerating all of my eccentricities for the past 43 years, one of which is Chabad. And I do want to mention the presence of two special guests, came all the way from Israel, Rabbi Jacob Ackerman and his son Naftali. Rabbi Ackerman, 40 years ago, some of you do know and some may remember, he started the Peoria Hebrew Day School, where my kids all went. Many of the parents in this room, their kids went there as well. And without that, we wouldn't have had the initial spark to get Chabad here in Peoria. Thank you so much.